Hey guys, Brian back in with another video, and today we're going to take a quick look at the Flow Velociti Wind at 100 miles. Oh, one more thing. We're also going to take a quick look at the Velociti SE. All right, so if you've been watching the channel, you know I picked up the Flow Velociti Wind. The name is a little bit long. Sometimes it's very hard to put the words in the right order, and everyone just ends up calling it Flow. But I'm a big fan of this shoe for a lot of reasons. There will definitely be a link for the original video and the review on this shoe. But I wanted to talk about this shoe so far at 100 miles. So I've got 100 miles in the Velociti Wind, and to be perfectly honest, this shoe really is durable. It's a very durable upper. The cushion's very durable. Hopefully in the B-roll you can see some of the wear and tear on the shoe so far. The thing that I'm really impressed with is how the upper is held up. The structure is really nice. For it being a kind of like a yarn or a knit or something along that line, there's not a lot of fraying. I thought, especially in this colorway, there would be a little bit more damage to the upper. But from what I've seen so far, this upper is held up really nice, and it's actually gotten better over time. It does loosen up, so I would say if it's a tad bit snug on first wear, give it a minute. I was a little skeptical that it was going to stay snug. It does loosen up a little bit, and for me it was comfortable but not the best, and I'll talk about that in a second. The cushion has held up really well. I think the biggest thing for the Flow Velociti Wind, the SE, the Curries, because there's no rubber on the outsole, everyone's going to wonder how's durability, how is wear and tear, the grip, all of that. And to be perfectly honest, if I had to rate it, it's definitely going to be above average on wear and tear. You can see that while it has kind of smoothed out on this pair, there's still deep grooves in the cushion, and that's where you're getting a lot of that grip from. So you will notice a little bit of the grip kind of not being there, but it's still better than average. You're still going to get good grip on this while you're running. You're still going to get good grip while you're planting. If you want to use this for more of a aerobic workout, HIIT training, things like that, this cushion grips really well, so you don't have to worry about it being unstable. Plus with the low compression, it's solid. It's surprising. It's a pleasant surprise. Also, you can see not a lot of compression on the midsole. It did compress. I mean, not that it doesn't compress, but I was a little worried about how badly the compression marks would be, the creasing on the midsole, and it's actually not that bad. For as much time I've had in this shoe, the whole shoe in general has just held up really well. So I'm a big fan of this. I think the rumors are that this warp upper is going to be on other models, possibly a Curry model, and I think that is going to be awesome. I'm a big fan of the Curry 8 right now, working on some reviews on those, but this warp upper is extremely durable. It's extremely supportive as well, so lateral movement isn't a big deal. While in this shoe, it is a running shoe, so it doesn't have a lot of lateral containment. The structure does hold it really well, so I don't feel like you're gonna bust through this very easily. The collar on here is very substantial, and it's held up really well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Now, the one knock I will have on this shoe, for me being a bigger runner, is in the toe box, it is a little snug. The lockdown on here is really good, and they have almost like a quarter sleeve that comes from about this far in the toe box, or like right at the forefoot, and then all the way up. So it's kind of like a sleeve. So it does really kind of keep your foot contained. But for the bigger runners, wide footers, it's going to be a bit snug. So this is where we make that transition. So we have the Velociti Wind here, and we go on to the SE. So Velociti Wind SE makes the name a little bit longer, but definitely some good upgrades. What you lose is the warp upper and the durability. What you gain is a little bit more room in the toe box, a little bit more comfort with the upper because it's a traditional knit upper, and a little more flexibility in the shoe. So this shoe is extremely flexible, extremely comfortable, easy to put on, easy to slip on. While I love what UA is doing with the Wind, I think this one's going to be a little more consumer friendly just because of how it's designed and the fit. The warp upper feels a little rough at first as you're kind of touching it, whereas this knit upper is a little bit more understandable and makes more sense. But I completely understand why that warp upper is there. I think it's great on a running shoe. I think it's great for a performance shoe, but I think this works really well for a lot of different reasons, which is the thing. Knits are in these days, so if you're looking for a comfortable, flexible, accommodating shoe for your everyday use, your runs, working out, the Wind SE is definitely a good pickup. This does not have the same materials in the upper like I was saying before, so working out in this is going to be very interesting because I feel like you can slip off the footbed in this, but at the same time I feel like the toe box feels a little bit wider, so you might not be as unstable as you would think. It's a weird trade-off, I get, but I would probably take the Wind, the original, over the SE, and if I was going to do workouts outside of running. I don't know what the weight difference is between the two. They both feel really light. I would assume that they're probably around the same weight, within an ounce or two of each other, I would assume. You also get a nice little pull tab on the back, which is very helpful because you can actually get these on one-handed once you break them in. Your foot does slide in very easily. Heel counter is still very nice, just like on the original. And you get the same flow outsole, midsole combination that you got on the original. I'm a huge fan of these as an everyday shoe. I have not run in these yet. That is the plan. I just finished up the Machina 2. Not finished up, but I did 100 miles. I did that video. That video's out now. Check that out because that shoe has been awesome. And I definitely put this in the rotation along with some other shoes. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a rotation. But if you guys have any questions on the Velociti Wind or the Wind SE, you guys know the drill. Leave comments below, ask questions, happy to answer them. And that's pretty much it. I mean, realistically, these are very similar shoes. The only difference is the upper. They both connect to Map My Run. They're both extremely comfortable. They both have flow cushion. One has knit, one has a TPU-based yarn that they call warp. So that's pretty much it. You guys know the drill. Leave the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.